Welcome to XAT Prism, the all-in-one solution for managing your clinical education seamlessly. With XAT Prism, you can effortlessly manage every aspect of your clinical education, from profile information to compliance, entering your preferences for future placements, accessing resources your program has shared with you, to accessing your placement information. We have you covered. Once your program invites you to the system, you'll receive an email notification like this one. The communication will include a link for you to activate your account along with the username set up by your school. You'll simply click on the provided link to activate your account. We offer two login options, standard and single sign-on accounts. For standard accounts, you'll be prompted to set up a new password following a few guidelines. Go to login.xat.com and provide your login details. You'll then need to accept XAT's privacy policy and terms of use. For single sign-on accounts, click on the link in the email and you'll be prompted to activate your account. Go to login.xat.com and sign in, which will redirect you to your school login page. Provide your login details, accept our privacy policy and terms of use. Now that you have successfully activated your XAT account, let's get familiar with the system. The dashboard is your central hub, presenting all the available options tailored to your needs. You'll find helpful counts that quickly alert you to items requiring attention. On your dashboard, you can find any outstanding attestations you have assigned to you. To sign an attestation, review the statement you will attest to as well as the due date of the attestation, then click Agree if you agree to these terms. On the dashboard, you will also have a group of tiles for you to select from. Within each of these tiles, there will be a short description of what you can find in this section of the system. There will be sections for your profile, compliance, coursework, learning activities, explore clinical locations, resources, help, and school contacts. Access these options anytime through the hamburger menu at the top of the page. Need to return to the dashboard quickly? There's an icon for that. Any important announcements from your program will be listed on the left side of the dashboard page. We will work through each of the sections of your student login from top to bottom. First, we will start with the Profile section. Click on Profile from your dashboard. Your profile is like an online resume builder where you enter information at the start of your program and you add and update this information over time. Eventually, your profile will be sent to sites where you are placed as a way for them to get acquainted with you. Your program administrators will also be able to share your profile with sites as well. It is important to make a great first impression, so take your time when filling this out to ensure your information is accurate. We'll take a look at each section of the profile, explain why each section is important, and illustrate what kind of information it should contain. On the top left-hand side of the screen, you will see your name, email address, preferred pronouns, phone number, and cohort information, as well as a profile picture if you have already added one. You'll first land on the Academics tab. Here you will see an overview of information entered by your program. This is a view-only section, where you can review items like enrollment, academic standing, program requirements you must complete before graduating, student advisors, any attestations you have signed, and any notes or documents your program has shared with you. Please note that not all of these sections will appear on your end if your program has not yet created them. Click on the Profile tab. The first thing we will upload is your photo. Click on the pencil icon on your empty profile picture, and then click Upload Image to upload a clear professional photo of yourself. If after uploading your picture, you realize you need to remove it, click the Delete button. You could then upload a new image. You are now ready to move on to the rest of your profile. First, we have the demographic information section. A majority of this information is only accessible to you and your program. The only information within this section that is shared with sites is your first name, preferred name, last name, and school email address. Click on the pencil icon, and a drawer will appear. Using this drawer, you will enter this information. Note that fields that require information to be entered will be marked with a red asterisk. Click Save once you are done. Keep in mind that you can stop at any point and come back and finish this later. Just be sure to save your progress. When editing any section in the Personal Contact section, you will provide your cell phone and home phone number along with your personal email address. Click Save once you are done. The Emergency Contact section allows you to provide contact information for a parent, relative, or friend who can be contacted in the event of an emergency. Click on the plus icon to add an entry and fill out the necessary information. To modify information for an existing emergency contact, click on the drop-down arrow and then click on the pencil icon for that specific contact. Your program may build a questionnaire for you to complete within your profile. This will be in the additional profile details section. To complete the questionnaire, click on the Get Started or In Progress button. A drawer will open listing any questions your program has added for you. Please note you must answer any required questions, which are marked by an asterisk, before you can save. Up next, the address information section collects both your current and permanent addresses. Click on the pencil icon to add or modify both. Then again, you'll click Save once you're done. When sharing your profile, you'll have the option to indicate whether you would like to share your personal contact, emergency contact, or address information with sites. The summary section will ask you for a summary statement. Here you will write a brief statement about who you are and why you have chosen this field or any other question your school may have posed. Pretend you have 2 minutes to pitch yourself to the site. You'll then add information about your areas of strength and any areas for improvement. To add this information, you'll click on the pencil icon, and once done you'll go ahead and save. The Areas of Professional Interest section allows you to indicate what settings or specialties you are interested in. This gives your school and your site a better understanding of you. However, it does not guarantee that you will be placed in the settings or specialties. Click on the pencil icon to add your interests. You'll see a list of settings and specialties that you can select from. If there are options you'd like to add that are not listed, click Other. This will allow you to enter in your own interests. Save once you're done. If you'd like to add a resume, cover letter, or any other file to share with sites, you can add that here. You can always drag and drop your file or click on this section to browse your computer to upload your files. To browse the files on your computer and upload the document. The Work Experience section allows you to list your paid or volunteer experiences. Click on the plus icon and select the type of work entry you'd like to add, which can be employment or career related. You'll then add all the details for that work experience. There's no need to enter every job you've held, instead add as many as you feel are relevant towards your goal of becoming a healthcare professional. You can add membership details to your profile as well. If you have any licensure details you would like to provide, you could do so here. The Skills and Accomplishments section will house several other categories you can utilize to build your profile. You can add continuing education details, details of publications you have written, any language skills other than English that you can read or speak, certifications you have attained, honors and awards you may have received, and you'll have an open space where you can enter other scholarly activities that don't fall under the previous sections. If any of the above sections of your profile are left blank, they will not be displayed on your profile when it is shared with sites. To add an entry to any of the previously mentioned sections, click on the plus icon of that section. You can enter the required information and click Save or Submit. You can also edit any previously added information by clicking on the pencil icon. If you'd like to delete any entry, first open the item for editing, then go ahead and click on the vertical ellipses, then select Delete. The Profile section is a great source of information for your school and clinical sites. Feel free to make changes at any time. We hope your profile showcases your interests and qualifications and that it serves as a beneficial tool throughout your clinical education experience. ExApp Prism also offers the option to download your profile. If you would like to do this, select the Download Profile link from the upper right-hand side of the screen. This will download a detailed PDF with all of the information from your Profile tab. We also offer the option to share your profile. When sharing your profile, the link you send will automatically contain your full name, preferred pronouns, school email address, areas of professional interest, resume, educational history, work experience, skills and accomplishments, and the summary section of your profile. On the top right-hand corner there will be a Share Profile link. Click on this. A drawer will open up for you to complete. You can now indicate what other information you would like to send. If you would like to send your contact information, click on the drop-down arrow and indicate which type of contact information you would like to send. You could send your personal contact information, address information, or emergency contact information by checking the box next to that type of information. If you would like to send all of your contact information, simply click on the box next to the top of the list. You could also indicate whether you would like to include your completed program requirements, compliance documents, or completed placements. You could click on the down arrow to select specific compliance documents or placements. Please note the data will only be displayed if you have completed the fields. After you have indicated the additional information you would like to send in your shared profile, you will now add the recipients. In the data box, enter the email address of the person you would like to share your profile with. It is also possible to share with multiple recipients at the same time. To do this, enter the first email address followed by a comma, then enter the second email address. You can also CC any other recipient if you so desire. You can also attach files to the email you are sending. To do this, click on the Browse to Upload button and then select the files from your computer. Be sure to take note of the supported file formats and the size limitations here. At the bottom of the page, there will be a short template of the email you are sending. To see a detailed preview of your shared profile, click on the vertical ellipsis on the top right side of the drawer, and then click Preview. The window that just opened will show you this preview. When you are ready, go ahead and click Send. Your profile will then be shared with the indicated recipients. Under the Share Profile link, there will be a link titled Profile Share History. Use this Profile Share History section to review the instances when you have shared your profile in the past. You could also check whether your shared profile was accessed by the recipient using the Status column. Now, we will go over the Compliance section. Your program will require you to submit compliance documents before they place you at a clinical site. Your program uses the Compliance section to collect your healthcare, identity, insurance, and certification information to clear you for clinical placement. Click on Compliance from your dashboard. You can also navigate to the Compliance section from the left-hand hamburger menu. In the Compliance section, you will see a detailed list of requirements. Each compliance document will be assigned a status based on whether you have submitted it or your program has reviewed it. The total number of documents approved, pending review, or need attention is shown on the top of this page. If you have yet to start a compliance document, it will be assigned the status of Get Started. If you have submitted the document but your program has yet to review it, the status will show as Pending Review. If your program administrator approves your submitted compliance document, the status will show as Approved. If the uploaded document has expired, the status will appear as Expired. And lastly, if your uploaded compliance document was not approved by your program, the status will appear as Not Approved. Any Get Started, Not Approved, or Expired compliance documents will require you to complete and submit. You can view the due date of any uncompleted compliance documents here. If a document goes unsubmitted past its due date, the date will appear in red text. Please complete such documents immediately. If any completed documents require a follow-up, the follow-up date will appear in this column. You can also check the expiration date of any completed documents here in the next column. Lastly, you can view whether the compliance document can be shared with a clinical site using the Share Profile functionality. If it is possible to share, this icon will be black. If it is not possible to share the document, this icon will be gray. To fill out a compliance document, click on its status. A drawer will open for you to complete. The instructions for this specific document will be displayed on the right-hand side. Click on the plus icon next to the document's name and a second drawer will open for you to provide the details for this specific document. You will most likely need to provide a related date for this document. Click on the calendar icon in order to select a date. You can also manually type a date into this box. Type the first 3 letters of the month followed by the day and year. You will also likely be required to upload a file. If you are required to upload a file, click the Upload Files button. You can then browse the files on your computer and upload the necessary file. Once you are finished, you can then click Submit for review. Your document will then be submitted. Your program administrator will then review the document and either approve it or not approve it. If a document is not approved, action will be required of you. Click on the Not Approved status. Your program will leave a rationale for why they did not approve your document in the review response section. Read this, then you can click on the pencil icon to make the necessary changes and submit the document once again. If you would like to download a detailed report of your compliance documents, click on this icon located on the upper right-hand side of the page. Here you can indicate which of the compliance documents you would like to select for download using these checkboxes next to the document's name. The table will also display whether the compliance document is included in the profile link and whether or not it was mandatory to complete. After making your selections, you can then choose whether to download a PDF report of your selected compliance documentation or download all of the files you have uploaded for the related compliance documentation. If you choose to download the related files, a zip file will be downloaded containing all of your uploaded files for the chosen compliance documents. Your school administrator may set up auto notifications to notify you when documents are expiring or are expired. If they set up auto notifications, you will receive an email once a week notifying you of the documents that require your attention. This is an example of an outstanding compliance document notification email. You will then need to log onto your account and update these outstanding compliance documents. You can update expiring or expired documentation at any time. Over your academic career, you will want to check your compliance section periodically to check for any expiring documents and upload updated ones. To update an expiring compliance document, click on the Add New Record button. You can then upload your compliance information as you would for any other compliance document. We will now go over the coursework section. The coursework section of the EXAT site is where you will access all of the information for the courses you are enrolled in. Click on Coursework from your dashboard. You can also select it from the left-hand hamburger menu. Here you will see the details for all of the courses you are enrolled in. Some of the courses may be didactic, or they could be placement-related. The courses which do not require placement are the didactic courses. If the course requires placement, you can view the dates of your placement here, as well as the details of the location for which you have been placed. If the placement is non-consecutive, there will be a small calendar icon here that you can select to view your specific placement dates. The status of the placement is located here under the name of the course. This shows whether the placement has been completed, whether it is ongoing, or whether it is upcoming. Current courses will be displayed at the top of the list. Scrolling down, you will see upcoming courses. Lastly, your completed courses will be displayed at the bottom. The Needs Attention column on the right-hand side of the table shows any upcoming due dates for your wishlist and My Request forms, as well as any outstanding attestations. You can then enter the course page by clicking on the name of the course, or by clicking the View Details button on the far right side of the table. If you have already been placed for clinical work and there have been course activities set up for the course, you will be taken to the Course Activities tab. In the Course Activities tab, you will find the specific activities and forms that you will need to complete during your placement. At the top right side of the page, you will find the Clinician Information section. Your program may assign a clinician to your placement if that information is known ahead of time. If the supervising clinician has been added by your school, they will be marked with the Added by School tag. If this is the case, you will see those details listed here and no further action is needed from you. If, however, this section is empty and your program requests it, you may need to add your clinician. To add a clinician, click on the plus icon on the far right side of the page. A drawer will open and you will provide your clinician's full name, email, and phone number if needed. Your program may also request supervision percentage. This is the percentage of time you spend with this instructing clinician versus any other instructing clinician. Also, please note that your program may require you to enter this supervision percentage. If there is a red asterisk here, you will need to enter this information before you can add your supervising clinician. Once done, you'll go ahead and click Save. The system will confirm you are associating a clinician with your placement. You'll click Confirm and your clinician will now be listed. If you need to make any edits in the future, click on the pencil icon to do so. You can also delete previously associated clinicians as long as they are not associated with any of your learning activities. To do this, click on the vertical ellipses and then select Delete. Please note that it is only possible to delete supervising clinicians that you yourself have added. A pop-up will appear asking you to enter the displayed numbers to confirm you would like to delete the clinician. Enter these numbers and then click Delete. There is also a section for you to fill out your forms and evaluations, timesheets, patient logs, time off, and wish lists. At the top of the page, there will be buttons to easily add patient logs, timesheets, and time off entries. If a placement has not yet been assigned to this course, you will be taken to the Course Information tab. Here at the Course Information tab, you can view the description of the course. There are also buttons for you to access course-specific resources if your school has uploaded any. Your school could upload documents, videos, FAQs, or links. By clicking on one of these icons, a window will open listing all of the uploaded course resources of that kind. If you have been placed in the course, but your program has not yet activated any course activities, you will be taken to the Placement Details tab. Here, you can view the address of the location where you will attend clinical work. There will also be a section to view location contact information. In the Location Requirement Upload section, you can upload location-specific requirements using the pencil icon. The Requirement section displays any requirements you will need to complete at the location. There is also a section for documents, where the location can upload any location-specific documents. Lastly, there could be a place on this page for the location to add notes. To complete assigned forms and evaluations for a course, click on the Course Activities tab and navigate to the Forms and Evaluations section. All forms will initially show the Get Started status. Also, make sure to be mindful of any displayed due dates. To begin completing a form or evaluation, click on the form name. Once you do this, you'll be redirected to the form page. If your form has different sections, those will be listed on the left. This menu can be used to navigate the sections. If the form has any instructions or guidelines, you can view those here. Any required questions will have a red asterisk. You will not be able to submit the form until those questions have been answered. If after starting, you'd like to delete all of your entries and start with a clean slate, select Clear All. This will remove any submitted responses so far and allow you to start over. If you cannot complete the form in one sitting, save your progress. You can always come back and finish it later. Some forms may require you to send them to your supervising clinician. If that is the case, at the end of the form, you'll be asked to select a clinician that's been linked to your placement. If no clinician has been added yet, your program may allow you to add them yourself by clicking the plus icon. Once you're all done with the form, you'll want to go ahead and submit it. Please note that you cannot make further edits after you have submitted the form. You'll be redirected back to the Course Activities page. You can now see that the form you have completed has been submitted. If you realize you need to make changes to your submitted form, contact your program to have them unsubmit it for you. This will change the status of your form from submitted to in progress, and you will be allowed to make edits once again. We will now go over patient logs. Here in the Patient Log section, you can view information on the logs you've entered as well as the status assigned to each of your logs. Click the plus icon at the top of the page to add a new patient log. A drawer will open up, which you will complete. Here you will provide clinical notes, and select the preceptor who performed your supervision. If you have not yet added your preceptor, click the plus icon and provide the necessary information to the newly opened form. The date of the encounter will automatically populate to the current day, but this could always be changed. You can change the date by clicking on the calendar icon and selecting the specific day of your encounter. You are required to populate all of the fields, which are marked with a red asterisk, before you can submit your log. After filling out the patient demographics, you will then fill out the visit information, which denotes the type of clinical experience you participated in on this date. You will then provide the amount of time you spent with the patient and the amount of time you spent consulting with your preceptor or any other healthcare professional. You will also provide the reason for your patient's visit. In the Diagnosis section, you will provide an ICD code. As you begin to type a code or keyword, a drop-down will appear presenting options for you to select from. You will then make your selection, and the system will register that code. If you need to remove any selections you have previously made, simply click on the trash bin icon. You may also have a procedure section, which is similar to the Diagnosis section. Go ahead and start typing, a list will again appear for you to select from. You will then indicate how you were involved with that procedure. Lastly, you will have a section for any additional encounter details. This is where you may search for medication if you need to add this information. You can also provide details on patient adherence, patient attributes, and patient social problems if needed. Once you are done, you can go ahead and submit. If you are not ready yet, you could always save your progress and return to it later. Saved patient logs will be assigned the status of in progress. Submitted patient logs will be assigned the pending review status. Pending review patient logs will then be reviewed by your faculty or program administrator. If your faculty approves of your log, it will be assigned approved. As your program reviews your patient logs, they may request additional information. If this is the case, they will mark your log as needs attention. You will see a number here and you can go ahead and click on that to view those logs. You can then open that log by clicking the log ID, and any school feedback will be listed at the top of the form. Please make these necessary edits and resubmit the form once you are done. If you are seeing patients where the majority of the patient log remains the same, you can create a template to save time. To do this, click on the Create Template option, and a drawer will open with any previously created templates. If you would like to start a new one, simply click on the Add New Template button. You will provide your template with a name and make your desired selections on the form. Once you are done, you can go ahead and save it. The next time you create a patient log, you will then have this template to select from the drop-down list. Within the system, there is also a statistics report to help you review your patient logs. To view this, click on the statistics icon. You can use this statistics report to review your patient logs by rotation and setting to ensure you are meeting your program's requirements. As you begin additional placements, you can review them across the clinical year to make sure you are meeting your graduation requirements. For specific details on graduation requirements, please refer to your educational program. Please note that your statistics report is updated only once daily, and updates may not reflect instantly. To complete timesheets, click on the Timesheet shortcut. This page will list all the timesheet hours you have already entered for this course. You can modify or delete any pending review or in-progress entries using the pencil and trash bin icons. Any approved hours will not allow any further changes. To add a new timesheet entry, you'll want to go ahead and click on Add Time Entry, and a drawer will open. You will provide the date, a start time, an end time, and other additional information configured by your program. If you'd like to add more than one entry at a time, simply click Add More. This will add another card for you to enter additional hours. Once you're done, you can go ahead and save or click the Send for Review button. If you have several saved entries, you can send those for review all at once. Simply select the entries you'd like to submit and click Send for Review. Once your program or your instructing clinician has approved or does not approve of your hours, those statuses will be reflected here. If a timesheet was not approved, review the comments on the side of the table. Then click on the pencil icon, make any necessary changes, and send for review once again. We will now demonstrate how to request time off. Here, in the time off section, you can view your total requested days off and the status of each request. You will also have a shortcut at the top of the page to easily request time off. To request time off, click the Time Off shortcut. This page will list all the requests you have started or submitted. You can modify any in progress and not approved entries using the pencil icon. You can also delete any in progress entries using the trash bin icon. Pending review or approved entries will not allow further edits. Click on the Add Time Off button. A drawer will open and you will enter the day or days you will be away. If your request is not for a full day, uncheck the box and provide a specific time frame. You will then provide a reason for your request and any details as to how you will make up the lost time. If you would like to notify your supervising clinician, make sure to check this box. They will receive an email with your submission details when you submit this entry. Upload any necessary documentation here and then you can save or send it for review. If you have any saved time off entries, you can easily select them and send them for review all at once. If you have submitted your time off entry for review, it will have a new status, pending review. Your clinician will then review your time off request. If your request was not approved, you can find the reviewer's comments on the far right side of the grid. You can then make any necessary changes and resubmit your request. To start on one of your course's wishlists, navigate to the Wishlist section in the Course Activities tab. The system will show you the type of wishlist you will need to complete, which can be one or more of the following: slot-based, location-based, setting-based, location area-based, questionnaire-based, address preference-based, and My Request. For this video, I will cover the slot-based wishlist, but the other types of wishlists function very similarly. To complete a wishlist, click on the wishlist name. If your program has provided any specific guidelines for you to follow when completing your preferences, those will show up first. After you have read these instructions, click Start. Before you can begin exploring the slots available for your clinical placement, you'll first have to apply some filters. The only required filter is State. If you'd like to view everything available, click on the drop-down and select All. If you prefer to look at specific states, scroll through the list and pick and choose the states where you'd like to be placed. You can also apply the additional filters for city, zip code, clinical settings, slot types, and slot status if you would like to. Once you are done, go ahead and click Apply. Before you begin looking at each of these locations' profiles or adding them to your wishlist, make sure to take note of the minimum and the maximum number of locations you are allowed to include on your wishlist. If you'd like to view the instructions your program has provided, you can always re-access them here. Each option will show you information about the clinical site and the details of the slots they have offered your program. If you would like to view additional information for each location, click on the location name here. A drawer will open showing you any information provided by your program on that specific location. To add a specific slot to your wishlist, click the Add option. The system will then keep track of how many slots you have added, so you can easily ensure you are meeting the minimum requirements and not going over the maximum. If you realize you've added a slot you do not want on your wishlist, simply click Remove. If you cannot complete your wishlist in one sitting, you can always save your progress by clicking on the Save as Draft button. You can then come back to work on it later. If you're ready to move on, click on the Rank Selections tab to move on to the next step. Within this section, you will rank your selected slots. You will use this icon, on the left-hand side, to drag and drop your selections in your desired order. If you would like to provide a reason for your selection, you can do so here. If at any point you realize you would like to remove something from your wishlist, click on the trash bin here. You can also move freely back to the last section to add a new slot if you would like. Once you are done ranking your preferences, you can then move on to the next section. If your program administrator has enabled specific questions they would like you to answer, the next step would be to navigate to the Questions section. In this section you will see a list of the uploaded questions, and text boxes below them for you to provide your answers. If your program administrator has not uploaded any questions, you can move on to the Review and Submit step. Once you are finished, you'll want to move on to the last step, which is to review and submit. Within this section, you can review all of your selected locations, your reasoning for their ranking, and any answers to the specific questions your program has posed. If you realize you need to make any changes, simply click on the tabs of the previous sections to head back and make those changes. You can provide some general notes about your wishlist here. You also can upload your CV or cover letter here. Click the Browse to Upload button and select your CV. Please be sure to note the supported file types and size limits. Once you are ready, check the box acknowledging that you understand you cannot make any further changes, and then click the Submit button. The system will then confirm if you are sure you'd like to proceed with submitting your wishlist. If you are sure, go ahead and click the OK button to finalize your submission. Once your wishlist is submitted, you can continue to view the information you have entered, but it will be in view mode only. If you realize you need to make changes to your wishlist, please contact your program to have them unsubmit the wishlist for you to allow you to make edits. Back on the Course Activities section, you will now see your wishlist has been submitted and the date and timestamp of when that submission was processed. In case your program asks you to fill the My Request section, here is how you do it. Under the My Request wishlist name, you will find a minimum and maximum number of locations you could indicate preference for. You will have to submit a My Request form for each clinical location. To find clinical locations, you can use the Explore Clinical Locations section of the system. You can also suggest specific clinical locations that are not already in your school's database. First, click the Add Request button on the right-hand side of the screen. You will be taken to a form for you to fill. First, click on the View Instruction link to review any specific guidelines your program has provided for you. After you have read these instructions, you can close out of this drawer. You will then enter information about your preferred clinical location into the provided text boxes. First, enter the required information into the Basic Information section. Note that you must answer any questions marked with a red asterisk before you can proceed. If the question has a drop-down, click on this and make your desired selection. Otherwise, you will enter your answer in the provided text box. In the Location Information section, you will enter information regarding the address and contact information for the location. In the Preceptor Information section, you will enter information about your preferred clinical preceptor. This includes their contact information, licensure, and CV. To upload a preceptor's CV, click on the Browse to Upload button. You can then browse the files on your computer and select the document for upload. Please take note of the supported file types and size limits. Next, in the Additional Information section, you will answer any additional questions your program has asked about the placement location. Any additional information you would like to provide to your school can be entered here. Sometimes your school may want you to add additional information about your preceptor, like their licensure, certifications, educational history, and employment history. Sometimes your school may also want you to check off any required attestations as part of the placement process. You can provide any related documents using the Browse to Upload tile. Please take note of the supported file formats and size limits. You can also provide comments to your faculty or program administrators in charge of this wish list. If you would like to add a comment, click the plus icon here. A drawer will open for you to provide your comment, then click Save. If you want to completely clear all your entered information and restart with a fresh form, click on the Clear All button on the top right of the page. If you would like to save your current progress to come back and complete the rest of the form later, click on the Save button. Once you are done filling in answers for all required sections, click Submit. Please note that once you have submitted a My Request form, you will no longer be able to make any future changes. A pop-up will appear asking if you are sure about submitting your request. If you are sure, click OK, and your form will be submitted. At this point, you will be taken back to the course activity page. You will see a list of all of your previously saved or submitted My Request forms. Here is where you will see the status of your My Request form. If you would like to delete any saved My Request forms, click on the vertical ellipses and then click Delete. If you would like to continue working on any saved forms, click on the location's name. You can then resume your progress on this form. To review a submitted My Request form, click on the location's name. You will then be taken to the submitted form. The date and time of the form's submission will be displayed in the upper right-hand corner. Here you can continue to view the information you have entered, but it will be in view-only mode. If you realize you need to make changes to your wish list, please contact your program to have them unsubmit the My Request form. This will allow you to make edits. On this page, the program administrator or faculty may also add comments to your submission, which you can find here in the Comments section. You can respond to and add additional comments by clicking on the plus icon. In the Learning Activities section of EXAT Prism, you can submit any learning activities the same way as you submitted them in the Coursework section. The only difference is here you can view the learning activities for all of your courses at the same time. To start, click on Learning Activities from your dashboard. You will be taken to the Forms and Evaluations tab. You will see a list of courses with forms and evaluations activated. Click on a course name to expand or contract the Forms and Evaluations table for that given course. You can view placement details for a specific form by viewing the Placement Details column. These placement details will be the same for each form of a course unless you have been placed multiple times in that course. You can also view the status of your submissions here, as well as a score if applicable, the due date of the form/evaluation, and the submission date. You are also able to filter this list of forms or evaluations using this icon. You can filter by course, setting, and status. After you have made your selections, click Apply. You can also use the Refresh button to refresh the page at any time. There is also a text box located in the top left-hand corner to conveniently search for specific forms or evaluations. Next, click on the Patient Log tab. Here you will see a list of all of the courses and placements where patient logs have been added. You can use the filters and text box to search for a specific course. Next to the placement details column, there will be a column displaying the total logs. Next to this column, there will be a column displaying the status of each of your submitted logs. Click on one of the statuses of a specific placement to view a list of logs of that status for that given placement. You will be taken to the patient log page of that course. This page functions the same as the patient log section accessible from the course page tile. To access the timesheet details, select the Timesheets tab. Here in the Timesheets section, you will see a table listing the courses and placements which have timesheets activated. On the right-hand side of the table, you will see each of your timesheet entries categorized by status. Blue represents in progress, yellow represents pending review, red represents not approved, and green represents approved. Click on one of the statuses located in one of the placement rows. This will take you to a page with all of the timesheets of that status for the respective placement. This is the same page as the timesheets section located on a course page and functions similarly. Use this page to view old timesheet entries and their status. Now, click on the Time Off tab. Here you will see a similar list of your courses and placements where time off has been activated. At the top of the page, you will see the total time off entries categorized by status. Click on one of the statuses in a placement row. You will be taken to the time off page for that placement. This is the same page you can access from the coursework section and functions similarly. Lastly, select Reports from the Learning Activities section. Here you can select from the different types of reports available for your learning activity entries. These will compile detailed statistics and reports for your entered learning activity data. The Explore Clinical Locations tile can be used to explore the available clinical locations associated with your program. Now, click Explore Clinical Locations. Here you can click on the drop-down menu to change the type of the search box. You can search by state, city, zip code, and location name. You can also filter by location area and settings of the location. All of the relevant associated clinical locations will appear both on the map and in a list form on the left-hand side of the page. Click on the location to view additional information about the placement location. Click on Resources. Here you can access useful documents and training material provided by your program as well as your clinical site. Your program can upload documents, FAQs, videos, and links. You can filter the list of resources using the checkboxes above. Select a category from the list on the left-hand side to view all of the associated resources. Click on the hyperlink under a resource name in order to view the associated resource. Note that FAQs do not include a hyperlink. To view faculty and staff contact information, click on the School Contacts section on the dashboard. You will be taken to a page listing all the faculty and staff with their contact information. Here you can see their name, their position or positions, email address, phone number, and any notes they have left for you. On the top of the dashboard, you will also find a megaphone icon. Click on this and you will be taken to a page listing all our recent enhancements made to XAT Prism. The most recent enhancements will be marked with the latest tag. If you ever need assistance, our comprehensive help center is just a click away. You can also submit ticket requests via the question icon. You can also access this section using the help tile on the dashboard. Click on the question icon now. Here you can submit a support ticket. For additional assistance, you can access our XAT YouTube channel or our help center using these two buttons. For urgent support, email v4support@xat.com. If you prefer real-time chat, our support team is available to you via our chat feature located here. Just click on the chat button and a window will open for you to chat with our live support team. Thank you for watching our comprehensive student tutorial. Please take the time to check out our other helpful user tutorials, uploaded to the XAT YouTube channel.